Yo, what it do, my Unleashed Nation? Michael Mayer, trade rumors have been debunked. We have some guys to talk about that are still free agents, could possibly help the Las Vegas Raiders. All that and more, we will break it down. As always, let's get unleashed.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song, he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold.
As we come for more gold.
The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
You know what I like to do? Just follow me on this one.
Hey, that fire still burns bright here in Las Vegas.
And one future.
Boys.
Talk about commitment to excellence, just win, baby. Once a Raider, always a Raider. You walk in this building, you can feel it.
It starts with our DNA, ill intent, physicality.
7 memorable decades. 30 Pro Football Hall of Famers. 25 postseason victories. 5 AFL and AFC championships. And 3 Super Bowl titles. Though names, faces, and locations have changed, one constant remains: the unyielding will to win.
O'Connell under center. Gets the snap. 7-step drop. Eyes. Takes the shot. Deep down the field. He's got a man open. It's Tucker in stride at the 20. 11 seconds to go. Shotgun to O'Connell. Backpedaling. Lobbing to the end zone. Trying to get Adams. Makes the grab. Touchdown Raiders. O'Connell looking to throw on 2nd and long. Pressure up the middle. He's backpedaling. He finds Hooper at the 50. Cuts to the middle. 45-40. Hooper running with Surtain. And he's spun down at the 31. 1st and 10 on the 33. Pump fakes to the left. Takes the shot. Deep down the left sideline. Open man at the 5 is Myers. Catches. Walks in. Touchdown Raiders. And the final play of the 2023 season is the victory formation.
Yo, what's good? Welcome to another episode of Raider Unleashed. Yeah, it's a little late night, but we're here to talk about it. So, man, let's get into it right away. There's been a certain content creator that's just constantly has Michael Mayer in the trade talks to, every team out there. Yes, facts. The Miami Dolphins were interested in Michael Mayer, but the Raiders have no interest in trading this guy, man. We've heard John Spytek talk about, what a big asset he can bring with his blocking, opening holes in the run game. We've heard me say the same thing. We've heard Chip Kelly talk about, how he came in a little bit faster, a little bit stronger in camp. How he's got his head cleared. He's ready to go. We've heard Michael Mayer. Matter of fact, let's just listen to Michael Mayer himself. Hold up. I got it right here somewhere. I did have it right here somewhere. Okay, that's not what it was, bro. Let me make sure this is working right. Split. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. All right, here we go. Window, share screen. Big Mike. So yeah, man. There you have it. Michael Mayer is excited about the season. He's ready to go. He thinks he's going to be very involved. Shout out to everybody in the building. I'll get to you on a second, blasting everybody's names. But yeah, man. So, it's been like 4 thumbnails the last couple of weeks Michael Mayer has been involved in trade rumors. We heard Michael Mayer talk. We've heard our coach talk. We've heard our offensive coordinator talk, the highest paid offensive coordinator in the league. All say great things about Michael Mayer, right? We just heard Michael Mayer say how he's in his head. He's ready to go. He's been working out, running, back in shape. So can we please put the rumors to bed, bro? Michael Mayer is not going anywhere. He wants to be a Raider. There's a tight-knit community within, the tight end room. I made a video last year. Go check it out. Brock Bowers on the history of tight ends, Gronk and what he's done over there with Hernandez. Go back to the Cowboy days with their 2 tight ends. I mean, there's a lot of history. And the Patriots, of course, all the Super Bowls they won with 2 tight ends running 12 personnel. I think Michael Mayer is going to be a big, big asset for this team. And, in 12 personnel, he even talked about 13 personnel, said he didn't want to talk about that too much. So using 3 tight ends is going to help in the running game. It's going to help in goal line situations. It's going to help in short yardage situations. And I believe Michael Mayer is not going anywhere. But for some reason, and I know it's the off season, man. I get it. I'm not trying to hate on nobody or start no shit. But I got to stick up for my guy, right? Michael Mayer has been through the ringer, man. He had, rough time last year. Hold up. I'm trying to find this. I'm going to be a dick for a minute. If I can find it. Oh, really? But yeah, we've heard Michael Mayer. We knew about last year, missed time, missed a couple weeks, came back, looked pretty solid, helped this team, definitely helped us in the run game. Our run game got stronger when Michael Mayer came back. Now, it wasn't the greatest run game, and it was, pretty rough, bro, pretty rough. So, where the hell did that picture go? This is such bullshit. Oh, it's up here. Duh. Well, shout out to everybody in the building. What's good? How's your day go? How's your night going? Are y'all ready for some football yet? Of course, we got a little bit more rumors to talk about. Former Raider, who was supposed to take a 1-day contract and retire a Raider, has now come out of retirement. To play with the Miami Dolphins and Tyreek Hill. That's going to be something, right? So this man right here, the cheer squad leader for the tank for Shador, the clickbait master, my guy Mitchell Rans. Shout out to Mitchell Rans, man. But yeah, constantly blasting my guy Michael Mayer. You know, trade rumors to every team you can think of. And I know everybody needs a tight end, and Michael Mayer is a damn good tight end, right? He's a tight end that won the Mackey Award. He's a tight end that we drafted second overall, but he's also a tight end that I do believe is making less than $2 million this year. Now, if Michael Mayer has even half the year Brock Bowers had, and there's been plenty of times Gronkowski and Hernandez, you know, I think Gronk had 1,300 yards one year and Hernandez had 900 yards. Are they going to be that duo? I don't believe so. You have Ashton Genty, you have Jacoby Myers, you know, you have Trey Tucker, we have Jack Beck, who I believe is going to be a starter if they ever get him signed. But, you know, we have a lot of players. So Michael Mayer is going to do the small things, mostly in the run game, mostly blocking. But if we run, you know, a lot of 12 personnel, they're going to double Brock a lot. And when you run 12 personnel, for those of you who don't know, and I'm sure most of you do, right? It's 2 tight ends. You could have a quarterback, running back, or you could have your quarterback and 2 receivers. You know, you could spread them out, or you could spread your running back out. It doesn't matter. But it's mainly a 2 tight end set. Like I said, you have 2 receivers or running back, either or, which way. And the weapons we have is going to be nasty, bro. When you're in that set, you can run the hell out of the ball with Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers. With their explosiveness, their speed, you know, they don't have to block defensive tackles, right? They don't have to block edge rushers. They just got to get out in space and knock a linebacker off balance. And I think Michael Mayer is the guy to do that, right? He proved it in college. You know, he's as big as a linebacker, 260 pounds. He's lost a little bit of weight. He's gained a step. His arms look bigger. He looks stronger. You know, go watch the rest of the interview with Big Mike. But yeah, so man, I'm happy. You know, Vinny Bonsignor came out and said the Raiders are not interested in trading Michael Mayer. I don't know if that was today or yesterday, probably because, you know, all the rumors and all the talk going around about Michael Mayer being traded. So what y'all thinking? How y'all feeling tonight? What's good with the chat? I know it's been a minute. I was on my ship box. Hawaiian Candy, what's good? Noti Gang. Marcus Banks, what it do? Appreciate you, my guy. Chris, what it do? Jason, what it do? Y'all go check out all the content creators in the building, the PNJ podcast. You know, doing great shows with Chris. Got to get you on the show. The only thing is I'd pull you up right now, but you can't live stream from yours unless I start it before. And you have to be on a computer and not a cell phone. I figured all that shit out. So if anybody wants to pull up one of these days, Talk Raiders, hit me up. Y'all can live stream on yours. I figured this shit out. Nation, what's good? What's good? All right, everybody just saying love. Appreciate y'all. Unleashed Raider, what it do? I'm not bueno. Never thought he would get traded. He's our best blocking tight end. I mean, he's an asset all around. Not only blocking, right? And not only opening holes for the running back, but the man can still catch. He's hard to tackle. When he has the ball in the open field, he's running guys over. Go back and watch this guy's film for Notre Dame, man. He's an absolute freight train when he gets the ball in his hands. And we've seen him make ridiculous plays. The Jets game that I talked about yesterday, you know, great pass, Aiden O'Connell rolling out of the pocket, throwing a dime where only Michael Mayer can, you know, jump up and get that ball and win. We need him for spots like that, right? We need him in the red zone. We need him on short yardage because it's hard for a linebacker even, but let alone a safety or a corner to try to have to guard Big Mike in the red zone or in short yardage. I mean, it's a complete mix match. So for me, anyways, I think that video was about Brock Bowers from a year ago. What video? My guy Lawrence, what it do? What it do, man? Appreciate you dropping in. And no, it's not a diss to Mitchell Renz. Yes, I put him in his cheer outfit, but he did that shit to himself. And shout out to Mitchell Renz. You know, he made a bet. He had to wear it. He wore it for the entire show. You know, a man of his word. But, you know, shots fired if you want. But I thought it was funny as fuck. You know, I seen that thumbnail and I was like, bro, I can't resist. I can't resist. So, this is the year, folks. We dominate both sides of the ball. Let's flipping go. Let's go. I hope this is the year, man. I hope this is the year. There's a lot of good signs. There's a lot of good things, and we're going to go more in depth. You know, we have a couple weeks till football. The click clackety starts. The pads come on. A little bit of bang bang. It's soon. It's soon. So until that time, we're going to break down each team individual that we play. We might have to do two, maybe, probably two a night or whatever. For the next couple days, we're going to break down in depth what our chances really are of beating these teams, right? Their stats last year. Have they got better on defense? Have they got better on offense? Have they improved in the trenches? We're going to try to break that down and go in depth as much as possible and see really where we stand, you know, with the teams we got to play. That didn't work. That didn't work. But let me do this. If anybody does want to pull up, there's the link. Like I said, you can't live stream from your shit, but I'll make it up. You know, I'll come on anybody's show anytime. But if you want to pull up, talk football, pull up, talk football. I know y'all seen the thumbnail. Let's talk about that. There is a guy who was absolutely ridiculous in college football that is still not signed. He went undrafted, and people want to talk about, you know, Shador falling to the 5th round. This man runs a 4.35 40, has damn good hands, was a huge asset for Texas. And Isaiah Bond. Why is this man a free agent? Why is he not undrafted? What is the problem? I don't know. I'm gonna have to break it down a little more. But I didn't see no problems at the combine. I didn't hear no problems about, you know, issues in the locker room or any diva shit like that. Let me know in the chat. Why do you think this man is not signed to any roster? There are a lot of rosters that could use his speed, his quickness, his route running is pretty decent. I mean, everybody could use to improve a little bit on their route running. But man, I just don't understand it. I don't understand how this dude and why he's not a Raider, right? I believe we brought him in. I'm pretty sure we brought him in for a visit, but he's still sitting out there. Now we have a lot of people saying we still might need another receiver. We might need another receiver, right? Terry McLaurin sitting out there. Still issues going on with that. Do the Raiders jump in there and try to go get a veteran? I've gave my take. You know, I would love to have Terry McLaurin, but who are we losing in the process? It's going to be a guy that, you know, could develop into something. Probably not Terry McLaurin. So is it worth it? To me, yeah, I'd take the shot. I'd take the shot. Everybody needs a guy like Terry McLaurin in their locker room and on their roster, 1,000-yard receiver every year, no matter what. So yeah, why is this man a free agent? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. He has something about a case. Oh, I do remember that. But is it still on? Maybe that's it. Is it an ongoing case? Geomex, what's good? Appreciate you. Jack Cana, LVR, appreciate you popping in. Is that an ongoing case with him? Because, I mean, if it's an ongoing case, then I can see that. Somebody will probably pick him up after it's all said and done. But if it's been squashed, I mean, damn. If you want to pull up in the chat, he posted the link and it's pinned. But yeah, that could explain it. That could explain it. If you have ongoing issues that are still pending, maybe that's the problem. But I still find it, you know, very, very difficult to believe that there's not a team out there that is taking a chance. So whatever the issue is, must be very, very serious. Because this guy is, you know, strong, quick, powerful, could stretch the field, what everybody needs, right? I'd rather wait and get Gino's nephew next year if he's coming out. That would be something right there. That would be some shit. Gino throwing the ball to his nephew. Bro, I'd be down for that. Ooh, that was not very cold. It must have been sitting out for a minute. Damn it. Is he coming out next year? I thought he was only a junior. That would be sick, bro. And you know Gino would love throwing the ball to his nephew. I mean, that's a story in itself right there. Why isn't this thing going away? Oh, there we go. LVR says we don't really need receivers. If we were to sign a receiver, it won't be till after training camp. Once we see what we got. COD so far. Beck, Thornton showing, so we good. I mean, I feel that too. I feel that 100%. But if you have the opportunity, though, I ain't got time. Pete Carroll ain't got time. The Raiders don't have time, right? 3 years. We don't know if Thornton or Beck is going to develop this year, next year. We know what Terry McLaurin is. If you're trying to win now, I don't care who we drafted, honestly. You know, there's the other guys in the building that have been here for 2-3 years that haven't really shown shit. So move on from them if we have to. But if you have an opportunity and he, you know, the guy wants to play here and you have a chance to bring him in, I'm all in. You can't have too many weapons for a Geno Smith. And a guy like Terry McLaurin with Jacoby Myers next to him and Brock Bowers, this would be the scariest fucking offense in the NFL in a long time, bro. I mean, just think, who are you going to defend? It's already pretty much pick your poison now. I get what you're saying. Jack Beck is going to be, he's going to be a threat. He's going to be a problem. Dante Thornton, he's going to be a huge problem with Geno, the way his accuracy is throwing the deep ball. If we can keep the pressure off of him long enough for him to throw the deep ball, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a big problem for defenses. But in how long? Is it going to be this year? Does it be next year they click with Geno, towards the end of the season? We don't know. So if you have a chance to go get a Terry McLaurin, you swing for the fences. That's just me. That's just me talking. And I know Spytek and Pete Carroll are in win now mode, right? They want to win now. They don't want to fuck around. Or excuse my language. They don't want to mess around. They want to come straight in, swing for the fences. They're coming out hot, and every game they're going to bring, a little bit of tempo with a long drawn out run game that's going to beat teams to death and wear them down. And when you got monsters like Michael Mayer out there beating your linebackers up, shoving your corners around, putting safeties on their back, they better hope they have a deep roster when they come play this offense, because this offense is going to be physical. It's going to be nasty. You have a little bowling ball in Ashton Genty, who's physical himself, right? He runs through guys. He runs over guys. And like Saquon, he can jump over guys. Man, did y'all see Ashton Genty in that video? I think it was the Raiders doing a backflip where he did a backflip and did the splits in the air. Come on, man. This kid is more special than I could ever even imagine possible. It's ridiculous the athleticism this kid has. Freakish. Shout out to my guy in the building. In April, Bond surrendered to Frisco police following a sexual. Oh, yeah, that's not good. He was released on $25,000 bond and denies all allegations, calling them patently false, and has filed lawsuits. Okay, so if everything goes right and it clears, he will be on a roster then. I knew there had to be a problem. I was like, man, why is this dude still not signed? And, if he's denied all allegations, the chances are he's got a better lawyer than whoever's, throwing these allegations out there. So I don't know. I don't know why this guy's not out there. You would think somebody would take a chance. Like I said, there's so many needy teams when it comes to receiver. You can never have enough depth at the receiving core, and you can never have enough speed. But when it comes to sexual assault, probably have to wait till that case is solved. For sure. Shout out, man. Appreciate you throwing that up there. $25.5 million 2025 cap hit. Almost $20 million owed to him. 2025 to who? Who are we talking about? Oh, you talking about my guy McLaurin? I'm willing to take that, bro. I would pay that. I would pay that. We're talking about a guy with Sam Howell. Sam freaking Howell had almost 1,200 yards. You're talking about a guy that when he got Jaden Daniels lit it up last year. You're talking about a guy that missed 1,000 yards his rookie year, playing for the Washington flipping Commanders. It's not like he was playing for a playoff team, a team with a great offensive line, a team with a good running game, a team with even a quarterback. He was playing for the Washington Commanders, and he still missed 1,000 yards by, I think, less than 10 yards. I believe it was 6 yards. He was 6 yards shy of 1,000 yards his rookie year. And he's had 1,000 yards every year since for 6 years. 7 years in the NFL, 1,000 yards every year. He's worth that money. He's worth that money. He don't miss games. He stays healthy. He's flipping unguardable. Like, I don't know. To me, I would pay that money. But then you have to look at the situations that we've done in the past. We brought in Devontae Adams. We paid him ridiculous amounts of money. It didn't turn out very well. It didn't turn out well at all. The first year with Derek Carr, it was great. He had his best year ever. Derek Carr had a damn good year. But then it all went downhill from there. So, I could see that part of it, paying all that money. But this ain't Devontae Adams, right? This is a guy that's still decently young. He's not in his 30s. I don't believe. No, I don't think he's in his 30s yet. And like I said, posting those numbers every single year, being on the field week in and week out, it's worth that money, man. We pay guys way less money. I mean, way more money for way, way less production, especially the Raiders, bro. Especially the Raiders. Hell yeah, that shit was wild. The guy says, I like Terry McLaurin, but if Thornton is showing up and get McLaurin, it will stunt Thornton's growth. That's why I wait till training camp to determine where our receiver core is truly at. I get that, man. I get that. I feel you 100%. But the first 5 words, I like McLaurin, but if Thornton is showing, and he is showing, right? But the pads haven't come on yet. Can he get open? Is he still that much faster? Does he have, that much separation at the line when the pads come on? And we've seen, at least I've seen on film, problems holding on to the ball when you get hit. This is the NFL. These guys are going to hit you way harder than anybody in college ever thought of, right? These are trained killers out here. So we got to see. And like you said, we got to wait to see what we have, when the pads come on after camp, after preseason. I get that. But I don't know if Terry McLaurin, he probably might still be there. He probably will sign with the Redskins. If you lose a guy like that, bro, that's bad business, in my opinion. But, we can dream, right? We can dream. So, like I said, I would. We're in a win mode now. We have a 3-year window, and actually that window could be even smaller, right? You have Brock Bowers. If he shows out again, he's going to get a lot of money. Ashton Genty's coming around. We have a lot of guys coming up on contract years. We have Max Crosby only for 2 more years guaranteed. So that's a 2-year window that you have Max. And yes, you can re-extend his contract. I get all that. But the window is small, man. And if you're in win now mode in a division like the AFC West, where you got to compete with defenses like the Chargers, defenses like the Broncos, who's going to be one of the nastiest defenses in the NFL. I hate to say it, but they're going to be scary good. And then you got to compete with Kansas City, who's been, in the Super Bowl pretty much every year for the last 10 years, it seems like to me. So when we have that and you have to win in our division, you gotta swing for the fences, in my opinion. You gotta swing for it. And if there's a chance, make it happen, bro. Make it happen. Make it happen. But if we don't, man, I'm good with these young receivers. I think they're going to develop into damn good cats. Oh, what just happened? Weird. Personally, I want Colton Miller, Jacoby Myers extension around the same price. Jack Kenna, what is that price? Because Colton's going to get 25. Somebody's going to give it to him. There's a lot worse tackles with a lot less production making, 20, 25. Are we paying Jacoby Myers $25 million also? I don't know if the Raiders do that. I don't know if they're willing to pay him that much. Now, if we can get them both for 20, whoo, boy, I'm in. 19, 18. I mean, shit. I'm willing to bargain. Why does it keep doing that? What's going on with my computer? My guy, I'm not bueno, says the coaching staff must see something in our guys if they aren't going after these free agents. 1,000% facts. And we've talked about that, plenty of times on this channel. I've said it for months now. I didn't see us making a bunch of big moves. I was really, really, really stunned when they went and got Jermaine Pratt. I thought, if we were making any moves, it would be after camp. It would be after camp. And, some guys didn't stand out quite like they thought when the pads came on, weren't given 110%, whatever it is, didn't know the playbook, they might lose a little faith and they might have to go get somebody. But the fact that they went out and got Pratt surprised the shit out of me. And I feel like it was a damn good move. But I don't really see any more, surprise moves. Maybe a corner. I think if they feel they need to go that route. But again, like you said, 100%. I feel like they know something we don't know, or they are just bought all in and they're drinking the Kool-Aid also, like a lot of us are, right? Because I know I've been drinking that damn Kool-Aid. And that definitely has to be why. My guy Jack says, so if McLaurin 25 mil, Colton around 18 to 20, Jacoby 12 to 15, what's left? Well, you sign McLaurin to at least a 3-year deal, probably somewhere around $80 million. And you probably do what you did with Gino, give him 50, 60 of it up front, take a lot off the books. He makes a decent amount this year. With the upfront money, he makes a decent amount next year and then makes most of it on the back end. If he's still that guy, they restructure his contract, or they move on from him like they always do. Colton Miller, I know he wants to be a Raider. I don't think he's going to be a Raider for $18 to $20 million. The two sides have been pretty far apart from what I understand from the little birdie in my ear that tweets me shit now and then. So the two teams are pretty far apart in negotiations. And what did he make? 14 last year? I think he wants more than that. And I think that's the problem, right? I think he's wanting a 3 or 4 year long-term deal somewhere, in the 20s, maybe even higher. Do the Raiders feel he's worth that? I don't know. Do y'all feel he's worth 20? What do you feel Colton Miller's worth? What is his worth? If Colton Miller said, I want 3 years, 75 mil, are y'all willing to pay that to keep him around? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Let me know in the comments. And Jacoby made, 14? He's making 14 this year on his final year, right? I do believe he made 11 the other 2 years, which is absolutely ridiculous. He's not signing for 11 or 12 or 15. He's gonna want money. Now I know he's only had 1 season with 1,000 yards, but 0 drops. I mean, you got a little bit of leverage, I think, to negotiate with Jacoby Myers. Somewhere around 15, 16, a season. If you sign him for 3 or 4 years, I think he might, go for that. But I'm just speculating. My guy LVR says, as much as I hate to say it, the AFC West already has 3 top 5 defenses in the AFC West. In the AFC, and the Raiders defer. Man, I hated you saying that as much as you hate to say it. Why'd you say that? I know, man. I know, but the Raiders defense comes together. We will be 4th. Don't put that out there. Don't put that out there. We're gonna be 2nd. I don't think we could be 1st. No, I know we can't be 1st. We don't have the front line or the secondary. Now, our secondary could surprise some people. We could have a sneaky Patrick Surtain and Denarius Porter. We can have a sneaky Jahdae Barron and one of these guys that we don't know about. Maybe Lonnie, who knows? Maybe Jacorian Bennett. Maybe Eric Stokes. We don't know. Maybe it's Jeremy Chin. I don't know, but we might have one of those guys. But I don't think we have the defensive backs that Denver does. I think we can compete defensive-wise with the Chiefs and the Chargers. Oh, I got a little bit of Chargers news, too. I got to bring up. I forgot about that. But, yeah, man, this deep. God, I hope they're not in the top 5. Come on, we got to have less than that. I think Kansas City is out of the top 10 defensive-wise this year. I'm hoping Chris Jones takes a step back. You know, I'm hoping a couple of their free agents they lost hurts them. It didn't hurt them last year, losing their number 1 corner. Maybe teams are starting to catch on. You know, how much can Spags constantly change up the defense and keep these guys, you know, in the top 10? I don't know. The Broncos are just getting there. The Chargers are just getting there, but they lost Bosa. They have a lot of pieces to replace also in LA. So, man, I don't know. I hope you just fuck me all up with that. Yes, Miller is worth 18 mil. What? But Toppet are making 20s. I mean, that's what I'm saying. He's tops. He's tops left tackle in the NFL. Tackle complete wise, I see him, you know, in the top 15. Left tackle wise, he's got to be in the top 10. If not, I mean, right out of it, right? And with his production, if he's healthy, the way he played last year in the second half, he was our best run offensive lineman. We ran way more to the left than we did to the right. We had way better production. Actually, we ran more to the right than we ran to the left, but we had more production running to the left side. So we got bigger chunks and bigger plays running to Colton Miller's side. That's when JPJ was over there a little bit. So I believe he's worth it. Yeah, Jahdae Barron is on the Broncos. Ugh. Ugh. I really wished he was a Raider, man. I really wished he was a Raider. We could have used Jahdae. But, all right, so I know y'all seen the thumbnail, right? Who is on the thumbnail? None other than Matthew Judon, right? Traded to Atlanta, had a down year. Some people would say a down year. The man had 56 tackles. He had, these numbers might not be correct. I'm just going off the top of my head. I do believe he had, I want to say 6 quarterback hits, 19 pressures, 5.5 sacks. And it was a down year, right? A down year for him. The year before, he had 15.5 sacks. That's more than Max Crosby has had since he's been a Raider. He's a free agent. We don't know what Malcolm Kuntz is going to be, right? Is the injury going to be 100? Is he going to come out and be the same Malcolm Kuntz he was, you know, the year before he got injured? Those are all question marks. We lost Caleb Von Chasen, was a big part of this defense last year. Do you bring in a guy like Judon? See where he fits, right? Let me know in the chat. What? What I miss? Oh. This shit was hilarious. Hate to say it, but the Chiefs made the Super Bowl off back of their defense last year. Bronco is already being established as one of the best defenses in the NFL, and the Chargers just got Jesse Minter. What? That sucks. Damn, I didn't know that. I'm not worried about the Chargers, bro. I'm not worried about the Chargers. There has been a report come out that says Najee Harris was a little shell-shocked, right? By the fact that they went and got Omarion Hampton. They brought him in. They paid him a lot of money. He thought he was going to be the guy. The same thing happened to Najee Harris. you know, when he was at the Steelers last year, they brought in Morris, right? I don't know what his name is. But they're more maybe. But they brought in a young rookie running back that took a lot of carries away from Najee. And then they decided that, you know, maybe we'll go with this running back on a cheaper deal and see if we can get the same production out of him like they're going to do this year, right? They let Najee Harris walk in free agency. The Chargers pick him up. And then they draft a Marion Hampton in the first round. And I don't think Najee Harris seen that coming. And there has been some reports that there might be a little bit of bitterness. There has been some reports that the Chargers could possibly trade Najee Harris before the season starts. Now, again, these are rumors. It's just talk. But there's a little bit of talk, right? So where there's fire, there's always smoke. And I don't know how much fire is to it, right? It just might be a little spark. But if Najee Harris is not happy and he does leave the Chargers, man, that's a damn good sign for us, right? A damn good sign for us. Our run defense was better last year. They got way better towards the end of the season. So that's a damn good sign. And yes, I know the Chiefs made the Super Bowl off of their defense, but that defense got bitch smacked at the Super Bowl by a quarterback that didn't put up great numbers all year. 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, you know, can run the ball. He's a dual threat. There's a lot of teams that have dual threat quarterbacks now. There's a lot of teams that have decent running backs. We are one of those teams that went and got a dual threat quarterback. I believe for that reason, we are one of those teams that went and got the best running back in the draft in Ashton Genty. I believe for a huge, huge reason. That's how the Eagles beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. That's how they embarrassed them, right? Their offense, their defense, they made their offense look weak. They made their defense look, you know, exposed. And they took a recipe from, whether you want to believe it or not, but they took that recipe from Patrick Graham's defense with AP last year and the year before when we beat them on Christmas Day, right? When we should have beat them last year if it wasn't for the bot snap. So we have the team compete with Kansas City, I believe. We've had a way lesser team, and we've been right there, you know, right on the brink of kicking that door open like Max Crosby does. We're right there. We're right there. We should have beat them, like I said, last year. We beat them the year before. Do we have their number? I don't know. But I know Patrick Graham has been damn good against their offense. And I'm not worried about Kansas City. Their defense, like I said, was exposed to me in the Super Bowl. And a lot of teams are going to try to do the same thing that the Eagles did to them all year long. So we'll see how the Kansas City Chiefs hold up. No fly zone in Denver. Patrick Surtain even kept Brock Bowers to just 40 yards one game last year. Yes, I understand that. But look at who we had throwing them the ball. We had no running game. We had no play action. We had no RPOs, you know, no read options. We're going to have all that this year. We're going to keep Denver on their toes. They're not going to stack the box. They can go ahead and play one-on-one Patrick Surtain with Brock Bowers. And Brock's going to eat, bro. Brock's going to get his numbers. You don't think he has that game checkmarked twice on his calendar this year? I guarantee you he does. You don't think Brock Bowers had, you know, one of his worst games against Patrick Surtain, a divisional foe? You don't think that's eating at that man? I guarantee you it is. And I know damn well he's got that shit circled, scribbled, checked with a big dot of Patrick Surtain right on his forehead. He's coming to play, man. He's coming to play. That shit ain't going to happen again. And Patrick Surtain is good. It might happen. But with Chip Kelly's as the offensive coordinator, the way they're going to scheme shit up, running in 12 personnel, 13 personnel, having a running game, having, you know, Dante Thornton that can stretch the field, it's going to be a different game this year. It's going to be a different game. Take that shit to the bank. I hope. No, I'm just kidding. um, the DC who ran that defense at Michigan, right? Oh, I thought you meant the Mitchell Rams. What? Huh? Harris on a 1-year deal, 8 to 9 mil. I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that. Oh, Najee. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying, bro. A 1-year deal. If he's not happy and there's a little bit of tension, thinking he was going to be that bell cow, he was going to get all the carries on a 1-year deal, and he was going to, have an offense like a Harbaugh offense who runs the ball way more than they do with Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. I think Najee Harris had big plans, right? He was going to come out, have a great, huge year, and then get a bag next year. But I think those plans might have thrown a monkey wrench in the system, drafting a Marion Hampton. Thought I pulled that up. When it comes to injuries that weakens any defense, 100% facts. I have the confidence that Patrick Graham and Carroll will outcoach any of the coaches on defense in the AFC West down the stretch. Raiders 13-4. Geo Max, let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. I can't get too loud. It's late, 11 o'clock here. But talk that shit, bro. Preaching truth. Preaching truth. Let's go. 13-4. I love it. And that's a hell of a point, my guy. A hell of a point. I believe 1,000%, bro. 1,000%. We are not going to get out coached. Now, on the Patrick Graham side, I don't know. We did get worked with Carolina. That Carolina game was rough. We did have some injuries, but not the whole amount of injuries that we had. But with Pete Carroll, at the helm and the staff that we have, the run game coordinator now being my guy Robbie Leonard, you're right, 100%. There's not going to be any team, many teams, if any, that can outcoach this team. The whole game, right? The whole game. We can run the clock. We can control the clock. We can stretch the field. We can hit them with that do, and speed up tempo, which we all know Chip Kelly likes to run. We're going to have teams backpedaling, man. We're going to have teams backpedaling. Can't wait for everyone to be shocked when the Donkeys defense isn't as good as it sounds. They beat bum ass teams. You're right, my guy. They did have a weaker schedule last year. It was not like the Chargers, who had the 26th easiest schedule in the NFL, but it was in the teens, right? It was up there. But they have two nasty edge rushers. Their defensive line is solid as hell. And then they have the backfield to back it up with Patrick Surtain, now adding Jahdae Barron. And I can't think for the life of me who the hell was their slot corner last year and who's on the other side, because both of those dudes are fire as hell. So I don't know, man. I hope you're right. I pray to God you're right. Bueno. The secondary is it's not even funny. Everybody I don't want to do that. I was gonna say I won't even put that out there. That's bad sportsmanship. But we can only hope, right? Because last year, all three teams in the AFC West did pretty well when it came to injury wise. They kept their team healthy for the majority. They didn't lose a lot of key players, right? They didn't lose a bunch of stars like we did. Maybe the tide can turn this year. Maybe they can have, that welcoming injury bug hit their building. And if that happens, bro, it's going to be good for us. It's going to be good for us. I'm not bueno. The biggest weakness in Denver defense is no true nose tackle. Light in the butt there. Well, thank God for us. We have a running back in Ashton Genty that can run up the middle, right? And we have a center, and we don't know who the guards are yet, but I think whoever they're going to be, even with Kappa, I'm going to say it. I got to stop talking shit about my Raiders. So even with Alex Kappa, bro, whoever our guards are, I think we're going to have guards that are going to be able to get to that next level. We have JPJ at center. We know he's fast enough and strong enough to get that double team right, to nudge that guy off balance and then take on whoever he has to take on afterwards. That's a plus for us. So if Denver is light in the middle, shit, run up the middle. Just keep running up the middle. We have the weapons to do it this year. Watch and see, Kenna. When they actually play some good teams, they will crumble. I agree with that 100%. Facts right there. When they play playoff teams, they are going to crumble because, Sean Payton, and damn, I forgot. We'll bring that up tomorrow. But Sean Payton was voted the second best coach in the NFL this year. Man, we're going to have to talk about that more tomorrow. I should have closed with that. What the fuck's wrong with me? But so we've seen it in the playoffs. We've seen it throughout the season, right? The losses Denver had are not the losses the Raider had, right? They're not teams that they were supposed to beat that come in and shock them and beat their ass, right? They were teams that were better than them, that were out and, better schemed than them and had better personnel, better mismatches. Same thing with the Chargers, man. Same thing with the Chargers. When they played those dominant teams, they struggled. And hopefully, God willing, we are one of those dominant teams on offense this year, and they struggle against us as well. Yes. I believe our front seven will be top 5 if healthy, even without Wilkins. That's what I'm saying. Preaching facts. I hope. Man, if it is, if our front seven is top 5, we make the playoffs. I'm gonna go out on a limb right now. I'm gonna walk the plank and stand at the tip of that shit. There's no way we don't make the playoffs. If our front seven is top 5, that helps our coverage. That definitely means we're stopping the run. And that means we're getting off the field, which means Gino, Chip Kelly, Ashton Genty, and the boys have way more time to cook. And the more time they're on the field, the more points we're going to score this year. I promise you that. God, bro. I so hope not. I'm holding my breath. Not holding my breath on it. Barron is now the slot corner. We don't know. They had a slot corner that was a Pro Bowl slot corner last year. Matt, I'm going to look that up. Hold on. Give me a second. Who the fuck is driving me nuts now? I'm a dumbass. I put Denver Donkeys roster. That's not going to come up. Jim. The fuck? I cracked myself up. But it would have been even funnier if it came up and they knew what I was talking about. That would have been absolutely hilarious. So we have the Denver Broncos. Safety. What? That's not what we're looking at. Safety, we're looking at left corner is Patrick Surtain. Right corner, Riley Moss. Why couldn't I think of that name, bro? Riley Moss is a freak, an absolute dog. I hate to say it. I don't like what team he's on. But the kid is out there learning from young man is out there learning from Patrick Surtain. And Riley Moss is a dog, bro. He's a dog. That nickelback is Jahdae Barron they have listed this year. Who was it last year? Jaquan McMillan. I think that's who they had last year. And I believe he was voted to the Pro Bowl. If I'm not wrong. I don't know. Robert Penna in the building. Where you been, my guy? So if Barron has already been, designated that slot guy, then it's gonna be nasty for us. It's gonna be nasty for us. Tony Chef in the building. What it do, my guy? What it do? What else we got? I'm not bueno. Salute my brother. The family in the house. Love it, right? I love it when the family's in the house too. Just wish they would all come and stay the whole time. And get takeaway. Wait, what'd you say, Chef? I missed it. And get takeaways on defense. I mean, we have to this year. We have to get turnovers. We were minus 16 last year. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it on a Pete Carroll ran team. And I know everybody in this staff is not going to stand for that shit. So look for us to be ball hawks. We got some guys out there that could be ball hawks in the secondary. Rebel went from worst to first with upgrading our coaching staff, running back room, quarterback room, and we have pretty good receiving crew. Just have to pray our offensive line can man up. I believe that. I believe we have one of the best coaching staffs in the NFL, really. I mean, we brought in Marcus Robinson. We brought in Woods, who is, in my opinion, a very, very underrated defensive back coach. The knowledge this man has, what he's going to bring to these guys, how he's going to get them involved. It's going to help, right? It's going to help. So offensive line wise, I'm not too worried about our offensive line. I trust in Brendan Carroll, and I trust in Joe Philbon, because that's his MO. So he's going to be involved with that. I trust these guys to get it done. And from what I've seen in minicamp, the drills that they were running looked a lot more explosive, looked a lot more team oriented than last year. And when the pads come on, man, I can't wait to see what these guys are. So yeah, 100%. If the offensive line mans up, if the defensive line mans up, watch out, everybody. Chip is going to have defenses guessing wrong. I mean, exactly. That's 1,000%. We have so many weapons that you don't know who's going to get the ball. If we run spread offense, which I'm sure we will a lot, we'll probably run a lot of spread offense out of 12 personnel. Think about that. You're running spread out of 12 personnel. You got Mike out there blocking and then going out. If you're running the ball, because you could still run and spread 3 right out. You can still run trips out of 12 personnel. There's a lot of schemes, offensive schemes, that you could run out of 12 and 13 personnel. And I know Chip Kelly is going to be, he's an innovator. He was when he was in the NFL. He was when he was at Oregon. He was last year with Ohio State, right? He did a lot of things different that a lot of college teams weren't doing. Running 2 solid-ass running backs, getting them over 1,000 yards apiece. Not to mention the yards they got receiving. Having a freshman receiver go for over 1,000 yards receiving. Having another receiver, a junior going for over 1,000 yards. So Chip Kelly is innovative, bro. He's innovative. It's scary for the NFL that he only has to focus on offense. He doesn't have to focus on being a head coach in the NFL. He just has to focus on winning, doing his 111, right? Doing his 111 off the field. And that should not be a problem. That should not be a problem at all. Salute to the nation all day long, baby. Facts. Geo Mex, facts today. 68 more days. Hell yeah, bro. I can't wait for that. 68 more. That light is bright, dude. Damn, killing my eyeballs. 68 more days. Man. Let me get some ones in the chat. If you can't wait 68 more days for football to start, man. Football to start. I think the Raiders have the best offense in the AFC next year. The defense worries me. We could possibly have the best offense in the AFC West. AFC, I don't know, man. The Bills, the Bengals. If we do, Kenna, we are definitely in the playoffs and making a lot of noise. Oh, AFC West, yeah. I think we're going to score a lot more points than these guys. Bo Nix in his second year has some questions. That sophomore slump, we've talked about it, and we'll continue to talk about it until it happens because I'm going to manifest that shit. And y'all should too. Bo Nix is going to have the sophomore slump. He got a couple more weapons, but he doesn't have near the weapons on offense that Geno Smith has. He doesn't have the running game that the Raiders have. They sure the hell don't have the tight ends that the Las Vegas Raiders have. That goes for not only the Broncos, but the Chargers, and yes, the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I know they have Kelsey, and I know whatever other dude's name is over there who's been making a lot of noise the last couple years. That's a dynamic duo. But I think Mike and Brock are going to surprise a lot of people, mainly Michael Mayer, right? It is feasible, like I said, for Brock Bowers to have his 1,200 yards and Big Mike to still, get 600-700 yards. And the rest of the guys still get their numbers and eat too, right? If our defense does their job and our offense is constantly on the field because our defense is getting turnovers, getting 3 and outs, I think we're gonna murder the time of possession on offense this year. I really, really do. So ones. Rebel, you snapped like a poverty slam. What? What the fuck does that even mean? Snapped like a poetry slam. What? Am I rapping? Like Curly from the Three Stooges, covering his face, and Mo gut punches him. Curly covers his gut, and Mo slaps his face. Facts. I love the Three Stooges, man. Poke your eyeballs out. Nyah, 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 nyah. For spamming what? Spam all you want to. Spam away. Just don't eat spam. That shit is horrible. I'm just saying. Nasty. I had to eat that once when I was a kid. Horrible. I love Carson Palmer. Salute. What does Carson Palmer have to do with it? Salute USC, but I really hope Geno passes him for the most yards in a season as a Raider. I think that might be a lock already, bro. I think that might be a lock. I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna write it down and put a check mark on that. I think Geno does this year. I think he breaks that number. What is that number? It's like 40 3. What was that number? Hold up, I'll have to look it up in a second. But I hope he does, man. I hope he does. Oh, when you snap your fingers like you do at a poetry slam? Oh, no, that means excited in sign language. Maybe that's why they do it at a poetry slam. I don't know. But that's what it means, sign language. Oh, yeah, I get it. Poetry. I get it. For yards, I don't know. Let me look real quick. Who holds? Damn. Well, that didn't work. In a season. Try that. It's Derek Carr. At least that's what they're telling me. Carr holds the record for most passing yards in a single season with the Las Vegas Raiders. He achieved this in 2021, throwing for 4,804 yards. It's the GOAT, baby. It's the GOAT. That's why I was like, wait a minute, what? Thought that sounded a little sus. But it used to be. It used to be. And I think Geno could pass that. But I don't think he's passing Derek Carr's number. If he throws for over 4,800 yards, we win the Super Bowl. I'm calling it right now. You heard it here. Ow! You heard it here first. Raiders Unleashed. If Geno throws for over 4,800 yards, we win the Super Bowl. So if he starts to get close to that number, you better go put your money on the Raiders, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right, with that, I got to go. I will be back tomorrow to talk some more shit. Let me know in the comments, though. Y'all didn't say. Would y'all bring in Jordan, on a 1-year deal? Help this defensive out. You can put him in the inside. You can put him on the outside. He can rush the quarterback. He can make plays. No, you good. You good. He is the Oakland Raider all-time leader. Yes. I think Gannon is second, though. 4,800 yards for Geno, near impossible. He had 4,300 yards, didn't he, last year? With the weapons he's got now? Now, unless our defense is number 1 in the NFL, I don't see that. Okay, unless our defense is top 5 in the NFL, I don't see that happening. We don't have to be number 1. But if we have a top 5 defense that gets our offense gets our offense back on the field constantly, Geno could easily put up those numbers. He just can't throw 15 interceptions and fumble 9 times. But I think he could do it, bro. I really think he could do it. And if he does, like I said, we win the Super Bowl. You heard that shit here first. Geno really that low? I thought Gannon and Tim Brown and Jerry Rice. Peace out. Peace out. All right, man. Much love. Appreciate y'all. As always, Raiders. We about to just win, baby. Commitment to excellence. It's back. See y'all tomorrow. Much love. We're going to be number 1 in everything.